Welcome to the Cat and Kenneth channel. We're excited to share with you how we spent the next couple of days in Hong Kong. At about 10 o'clock on day 1, we started our morning with a lovely walk in Nan Lian Garden. The Nan Lian Garden is a Chinese classical garden located very near Diamond Hill Station. I do find this garden super peaceful and not yet visited by too many tourists in the morning. This garden is free to enter and it's connected to Chi Lin Nunnery. The water features trees, rocks, and wooden structures are all designed in a Tang Dynasty style. I would recommend spending about 1 to 2 hours exploring this little oasis in the middle of bustling Hong Kong. At about 12 noon, we walked back to Diamond Hill Station to explore the shopping mall next to it called Plaza Hollywood. This is a pretty large mall where you can spend about 1 to 2 hours walking around. Like most major shopping malls, it has restaurants, cafes, and retail shops selling electronics, books, clothing, makeup, and accessories. At about 1:30, we decided to leave Plaza Hollywood and took a 10-minute walk towards Rhythm Garden Shopping Centre. Although this is called a shopping centre on Google Maps, this looks more like just an old neighbourhood with some apartments and neighbourhood shops at the bottom. We did not stay here long and we continued walking for another 12 more minutes towards a building called Port 33. Here's where we'll find Loving Heart Vegan Restaurant. It's about 2 o'clock in the afternoon right now. We are hungry after all that walking and we're ready to have a lovely late lunch. After we've ordered our food, we have found these lovely seats outside the restaurant near the huge windows where we could look out onto the streets of Hong Kong. After we're done with our delicious lunch, it was about 3 p.m. We took a 3-minute walk to Mikiki Shopping Centre, which is just across the street. We did not spend too long in this mall when we discovered that there's an overhead bridge which connects this mall to another newer mall at the other side. This new mall is called Airside and it opened in September 2023. The design of this mall looks new and futuristic. Not only were there the usual shopping mall offers like restaurants, cafes, retail shops, entertainment, there's even an area in the mall where you can walk through an art exhibition. After spending about 1.5 hours in this mall, we left this mall at about 4:30 and walked for 20 minutes towards Kowloon Walled City Park. This park is built in the Jiangnan style and it is beautiful with several gardens and pavilions and an exhibit of the history of the city and a scale model. We were here at about 5 p.m. in the evening. There were not a lot of people, just a few tourists and some locals doing their exercise. We finished exploring this park at about 6 p.m. and we took a bus back to Mong Kok area. By the time we arrived in Mong Kok, it was already 6:30 in the evening. We just strolled along Nathan Street for about 30 minutes and at about 7 o'clock, we headed over to Omega Plaza where we'll have our dinner at M Garden Restaurant. We're definitely spoiled for choice with this huge vegetarian selection in the menu. And with this this amazing dinner that wraps up day 1 in Hong Kong. On day 2, we dedicated our first half of the day to Hong Kong Disneyland. By the time we were done with the park, it was about 5 p.m. and we took a taxi back to HONGKONG area. Here's where I wanted to try another vegetarian restaurant serving delicious food in a buffet style. This restaurant is called Ahimsa Buffet. In this entire trip, this restaurant impressed us the most. We can't wait to return to Hong Kong just to come back to this restaurant to taste the food again. With another amazing dinner, that wraps up day 2. On day 3 at about 10:30 in the morning, we decided to head out to a shopping mall called Festive Walk, which is located very conveniently next to Kowloon Tong MTR station. We see lots of locals hanging out in this huge shopping mall. Not only is there an ice skating rink, there are lots of chain stores and restaurants in this mall. In total, we spent about 2 hours at Festive Walk. At about 12:30, we decided to take the MTR from Kowloon Tong Station and ride 2 stops to Wong Tai Sin Station. At this area, we visited a temple as well as a little garden within the temple grounds. After spending about an hour here, we headed over to the mall next to the temple. This is a small mall serving the local community and it's called Temple Mall North. The main reason I wanted to come here was to try another vegetarian buffet place called Daily Green. We were here just in time for the tea time buffet, which starts at 2 p.m. The prices were definitely affordable and reasonable for a buffet spread. We made our payment at the counter, got ourselves a table, and were ready to get our food. I'm very impressed and surprised with the amount of food that they're serving us even for a tea time buffet. We took our time and enjoyed a leisurely 2 hours here, stuffing our tummies with delicious food. At about 4:30, we travelled by MTR to Jordan Station and walked towards Victoria Harbour. I also managed to walk over to K11 Art Mall, which is next to Victoria Harbour. At about 6:30, I left the mall and took a stroll up Nathan Road towards Jordan. Here's where I spent some time at the Temple Street Night Market. I finished walking around the market at 7:30 and decided to buy some food back to my hotel for dinner. This is how I ended day 3 of my trip in Hong Kong. The next day at 11 a.m., we decided to have a dim sum breakfast. This vegetarian restaurant serves dim sum in the morning, but they also have an extensive menu for lunch and dinner options. We left the restaurant at 12:30 and took the MTR from Jordan Station to Prince Edward Station. From Prince Edward Station, we took a 10-minute walk towards Moko Shopping Mall. We walked around this mall for about an hour or so and left the mall at 2 p.m. After we left the mall, we took a 10-minute walk towards Cat's Tea Room around Mongkok area. This is a cat cafe that houses all adopted cats. For dinner this evening, we went to Lotus Vegetarian Restaurant. This place definitely has a nice cozy vibe. Once we took a seat at our table, they served us free soup. We were slowly browsing through the huge menu while we were sipping on our soup. So far, every meal we've tasted in Hong Kong is so good and we expect nothing less from this restaurant. While we were deciding on what we wanted to have for dinner, the chef came out of the kitchen and decided to recommend us his favorite food. These were the choices he made for us, and every bite tasted heavenly. With satisfied tummies, that concludes our final day for our Hong Kong vacation. We hope you have enjoyed this video of how we spent a couple of days in Hong Kong. Thank you for watching. Please click like and subscribe, and we'll see you in our next video.